cursor allows you to move objects around when they're on the screen. So if we bring up some, let's say we brought up a shape. Let's say we brought something up like so. With the cursor, we can move these around. You'll notice that when we highlight on an object, it comes up like this. This allows you to rotate it if you wish. This menu button gives you a whole host of things that you might want to do. So within here you've got copy, cut, copy, duplicate. You might want to lock that to the screen maybe. So now we can't do anything with it, we can't move it. Unlock. You could turn it into a hyperlink. Say for example, if you wanted to click on that and it take you to the Wikipedia page for triangles, you could do that. Most of these things are fairly intuitive. You click on it and say, okay, duplicate. All right, well, let's see what happens. Okay, now we've got two of them. It's really, it should be pretty straightforward. The second button at the top, this is the mouse button. And the mouse button takes you back into your computer, and I'll show you what I mean. Click on that. Now we're back to our computer screen, but you'll notice we've still got our toolbar here. So that toolbar is allowing you to annotate over some of the things that you've got. So let's say this screenshot here is what we wanted to bring into our Starboard software. And this could be anything. It could be a PDF, it could be a Word document, it could be an internet page, but we want to bring what's on the screen into our Starboard. Simply by clicking on the pen tool, it's taken a picture of that and it's dropped it into your Starboard software. So now that we're on, we can see we've still got the pen tool highlighted. I can draw over the top of this, I can highlight, I can annotate over the top of the image that I had there. Now bear in mind, that isn't annotating. If this was a Word document, this isn't annotating on the Word document itself, it's annotating on a picture of the Word document. And while I've been bringing this up, one of the things that people always tell me they want to annotate over more than anything else is PowerPoint presentations. So we could do that with this in exactly the same way and bring a PowerPoint in, but all we would be doing is taking a picture of that PowerPoint. So if I just open a PowerPoint, this is an actual PowerPoint presentation. If we wanted to open one up, we would go through the same thing. Now this is a PowerPoint presentation. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's actually annotation tools built into PowerPoint itself. So if we actually clicked on this and we have it working as a presentation, down in the left-hand corner you have like a left and a right arrow, and the second icon across is a little pen. When you click on it, you can actually annotate over the top of a PowerPoint presentation. Now, when you leave this PowerPoint, we click on End Show. It asks us if we want to save it with the ink annotations. So if you wanted to make changes, let's say your students submitted a PowerPoint presentation as an assignment, you could actually highlight over the top of it with ink and say, yeah, this wrong font or spelling mistake or try a different picture. You could do those things, save it with the annotations on and return it to that student, and they've got a marked, graded piece of work. Let's go. Okay. So we're going to go on to the next page here. So we were just using the pen tool, and the pen tool is what you would use to write or draw with. And you can see along here at the bottom of the screen there's a host of different functions. So for example, if we wanted to change the breadth of the strokes, we can see that's this toolbar here. We can change the style of the line, so let's say we wanted a dotted line, we could do that here. You've also got some other different pen styles. Let's change the colour. You can see there's all sorts of little fancy tools, and go back to regular pen. So this is what you might use for drawing or for writing, but we've actually got something that's a little bit more interesting. So this button here is for the Intelli pen. You'll notice that when I'm switching between tools, it tells you in this little bar what tool it is that you're using. And this Intelli pen is the one that does some of the really cool stuff. So it can recognise things, so it can recognise shapes. So it can recognise shapes and you can turn them into the object that you want. It can also recognise handwriting. So we could just write something on the board. When you've written something or drawn something, you can just tap on it. Try one more time. And it puts the word into a box and it gives you this menu. Every time you tap on an object, this menu button comes up here. And that menu is what gives you access to the things that you can do to that object once you've brought it on the screen. So let me give you an idea. We can click on that. It's recognised this as hello. It's given us a couple of options with alternate spellings or numbers in there instead. But we know that it's hello, so it'll just turn it into a piece of text if you like. It'll also recognise more than a single word. So it could words. So once we've written something like that, we can just tap on it. So it can actually recognise full sentences. Let's take this to the next stage. So let's say, I'm going to use the same example that I've used with most of the guys so far. So let's say we were doing a lesson on the I, okay? And so we write that at the top of the page. We're talking about the I. So you can tap on your word, goes into its box with the menu. Click on the menu. You'll notice here that there's two icons. One of those says search for I in Google. One says search for I in Wikipedia. If you click search I in Google, we're off the internet. That's why it wasn't working before.
That was what was going on.
So we are not connected to the internet for some reason. Why not? We have anything giving us any clues down here? Wondering if it's just in this room or if the internet's down everywhere.
Might just be that computer. I just got something. I just tried it on this computer and
You good?
it's working here.
Okay. Well, in that case,
So
let's
might just be
reboot.
that- might just be that computer.
Working on these right here.
Yeah. Okay. So let's work on the basis that it's just this one. I'm going to restart this if it's okay.
That word when I'm checking them.
Something strange going on there. I wondered what it was then. Was doing that. So what I'm going to show you is how you can take an image or document and bring it into your page. Sound like you're going back to give me a question.
Oh no, actually I had just checked my favorite little word. Keyword recipes. That's how I always check. I do have a question for
Sure.
you though, while I'm thinking about it. This morning when I turned my projector on, it did not immediately connect to my computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I went over to my little box on the wall and I pressed the little button that shows the little computer screen, and it still did.
Okay. So it might be that you have to press the button underneath it that says HDMI. So it depends.
I did try that.
Okay. Well, we'll take a
And
look.
my Elmo was on. Oh, yes.
Okay, we can check it out, either myself or Karen or Beth. We'll go and have a look. It's almost certainly just a matter of how the cables have been.
It has been working.
Okay.
I mean, it has been connected. It's just like I wonder if somebody pushed something in there that they were not supposed to push.
That's all right. We'll definitely work it out. But yeah, so this is the bit that what I'm trying to show you right now is the bit that I think is actually the most important, the most captivating aspect of this software, which is being able to bring things from the internet into your presentation. So instead of using the same sort of tired clip art, tired examples that are within the software and have been there since 1995, when you search for an item using either the Google search or the Wikipedia search or any other search engine you want to use for that matter, it actually brings in whatever the most recent or most searched for items are. So that's why it can be a...
that, Marcy? What is that?
Recipes, Chop magazine, you know, type in recipes. And it brings up best recipes, Chop magazine.
So what good?
I don't know what Chop.
What you cooking?
Nothing, I just type in the word, you know, just, do I cook? You know,
So what you cooking?
I don't cook, girl, not much. Okay, I did cook something this week. I cooked a Mexican chicken and rice dish. That was very
Sounds
good.
good. Share.
It was good. It was really good.
I cook too. Been blessed with sugar cookies or chicken over my life.
It takes a long time to make.
Did you just start? How did you start? I mean, you just, hey, you want some good ones?
But 3.5 hours of decorating yesterday. I got to go eat.
I want to see a picture on one.
You
They
know,
look like these are for Allison Doolittle. I'll have to bring the skull.
you know, when I make them, I do. They're good. Because I always make them for Anne's birthday parties, and I make them for class all the time. So what I do is I do my dough one day, and I bake the next day, and then I decorate the next day. I cannot stand to do it all on one day.
There you go. So this is what I was looking at before. When we were looking at the gallery, it's connected back to the internet. So do you remember I clicked on the gallery, I clicked on my icon here, which was the little search of the world. I put V8 engine into the search engine. Well, here was an example of one. We can insert the image, and there it is on the screen. So that was an image from Google, which we just brought straight into the document. So let me show you again. We can click on this search. We can put any term we like into there. So again, maybe it's I don't know. And we can. One of the things that's also interesting is when you use this search, it gives you an idea of the size of the image. So these numbers below it tell you what resolution that picture is in. So if we clicked on this one that's 3264 by 2448, we know that's going to be a huge image. It's going to fill the entire screen. It's going to take ages to download. Whereas if we click on this one, it pops straight up on the screen. So once we've got something on the screen, as we said before, we could use our cursor. We can click on it. We can resize. We can move it around. And again, we've got all of those tools that we had before. So that was one way of searching for an image. The second way, and this is the one that I think you'll use the most frequently, is this one here. So this is where I was saying we were doing a lesson on the eye. And what I did was type eye, draw eye onto the screen, click on it, click on my menu, and it came up here and it said search for eye in Google. So I've clicked on that. It's gone straight to the internet. And from here, we can click on the images tab. And let's have a look and see what we can find. So let's say we want this here. You can click on it, click on the image.
Cool.
And there is our image. So this is what I really like about it. Capturing learning moments, engaging with the students, being able to bring up something that's totally relevant within 3 clicks of a mouse is really cool. And let's say we want some text to go with it. So we can click on our eye, click on it one more time, menu, search for eye in Wikipedia, and let's find some text about the eye. Alright, so now we've got some text. I'm just going to get rid of this for a second. Okay, so you'll notice that this text though is still, that's a picture of some text, so we can't do anything with it. All we can do is move it around. But again, if I click on my menu button here, and click on this button here, split text, now it's individual words. And I can take these out of the...
When you had it before, would it still link, with the words in blue, would they still link to the internet?
You know what? I don't know.
When we see a hyperlink,
Yeah.
Let's have a look.